Today, though, it's going to be on Google Business Profiles, all right? So let's just dive into things right now. So guys, here's the deal. I leaned heavily into my Google Business Profile just about 14 months ago. What happened was it existed, but I had like 3 reviews and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I then went down just Google, learning more about how to optimize this thing, and I'm the kind of guy where like everything's all self-taught. I will find myself on YouTube watching 10 hours of videos learning how to do stuff, and then I will just try it. I very much practice what I preach. Anything I share with you or teach you on, I'm doing myself in my business. At the end of the day, right, you're in real estate, you're in sales, I'm in title insurance, I'm in sales, and I just nerd out on this stuff in the marketing space. Yes, I work for Chicago Title and Title Insurance. Background's marketing, used to run a marketing company. I live and breathe and love this stuff. So title marketing, kind of confusing, but this is where I love to help real estate agents. So here's what I've accomplished in just about 1 year, okay, is I've been able to get organic leads off of my Google Business Profile. People who will call me, text me, email. People have reached out and said, I need a real estate agent, which is crazy in this day and age that people can't find a real estate agent. Anyway, so it's cool. So here's what we need to talk about is improving your visibility, ideally getting you organic leads. We're not talking Google ads, we're talking organic, okay? I'm gonna show you all the things that I think work, that what I believe work, that what the experts say work, and that have worked for me. Now, what we need to know here is how people find you. They Google real estate or certain keywords, and your profile might pop up depending on how you have it optimized from the SEO. We're going to share with you every single thing I think you should do to optimize it to the best of your ability. In the perfect world, right, we get you popping up in the top 3 on the map. What I want to point out about this slide is if you look at these top 3, Taylor Simmons, he's a real estate agent up in Denver. I actually know him, great guy. This is what I like to share to give you all hope, is he's only got, if you look, he's got 50 5-star reviews, and right below that, is Deveray, also a big producer up in Denver. She's got 38. And then you've got Natalie with 14. And so the point here is like, you don't have to be the biggest 700 reviews. It's more than just reviews and things that go into this. Yes, 5-star reviews are very important. And that is an essential component to your Google Business Profile. But beyond that, there's other things that they're doing, which is why they're popping up at the top. So there's hope. You just have to put in the sweat equity or pay someone to do it for you, okay? So that's what we're going to talk about. So here's me, Jared Larkin, Chicago Title. Like I said, just over a year ago, I think I had like 3 reviews, and I'm like, I'm gonna lean into this thing and see if I can grow it and see if it can work. All right. So I've been leaning into mine. I've been really hammering it, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned that I believe works. Here's the truth. Nobody really knows what works. Google won't tell you what actually goes into the algorithm. None of these platforms will, Google, Facebook, whatever. But you just have to believe if you do more than everyone else, because some of the stuff I'm going to share with you is very tedious and not very fun, I think most of us aren't going to do it, and that's what puts you ahead of the pack. So 88% of consumers trust online reviews. I don't know about you guys. Google reviews is what I live off of, whether I'm looking at a hotel or a restaurant. My wife is ruthless. She won't look at anything below 4.8 stars. She's like, nope, it's 4.7. I'm like, really? So it's wild how like people's mind goes with what they accept for Google reviews. And we're talking about 5-star reviews, but also if you're trying to fight off maybe a 1-star review or some, hater that left something, I'm going to share with you some tips on how we can kind of turn that into a better thing, right? So we pointed out here, here's Taylor. Look at this though, Thrive Real Estate, 653 reviews. Taylor's at 50 and he's above them because he's optimized his better than they are, right? So he's doing probably some of the stuff I'm going to share with you today. So my personal results, bunch of reviews, getting interactions, getting inbound text, phone calls. Whenever I get an inbound lead, I always ask, how'd you find me? And lately it's been, typically I found you through Google. Now me, right, title insurance, title company, they're typing in stuff like that. And then my profile pops on up first. And you can see the keywords that they're searching, the things that are basically breaking down how they're finding me when they're searching on Google, okay? So this will lead to website clicks, this will lead to actual phone calls, this will lead to so many other things. Results, right? Here's a guy who reached out to me, found me through Google Maps, he said I have a large number of reviews, so he reached out. He actually needed a real estate agent, which is just wild. But turns out he didn't want to pay a real estate agent, so I actually didn't refer him to anyone. He wanted to do it himself. So he was kind of one of those, if you guys ever worked with that kind of client. And right, other things like that, we're getting results. I typed in title company near me, it popped up. My personal results, typing in title company in the Front Range of Colorado, I'm popping up #1 above competitive title companies. right? If you type in best title company, I'm popping out first. I wasn't even on the map a year ago. Okay, so within 1 year, this is how far I've grown it, right? Title insurance, I'm popping up number 3. So I'm leaning into certain keywords. Of course, for you, it's not gonna be title insurance, it's gonna be real estate in your market, in your neighborhood, wherever you wanna dominate is going to be the goal. Again, other results, I mean, this guy was in Brighton and then my map popped up. So that's what I've had as results, just so I can kind of be up here and practice what I preach and share with you that I'm not full of it here. And let's get started. So agenda, we're gonna go through every single aspect of your Google business profile, all right? From completing the basic info to the Q&A. The overall theme here with today's class is like, you need to feed Google every single piece of information that it asks, right? Are you wheelchair accessible? Like, are you whatever, right? Are you open up on holidays? What are your hours? Can we book a calendar appointment online? We're going to show you all that stuff, and let's get started. So first things first is, if you're brand new and you don't have a Google business, who doesn't have a Google business profile? 1, 2, 3, perfect, 4, maybe. If you have to start over, just Google, create a Google business profile, or go to business.google.com and you can create one and get started and plug in your information. Once you start setting yours up, you'll add your photos, you'll begin to edit your profile. We're gonna start off with the basics of editing your profile. Now here's the deal, complete profile overview, right? We're gonna plug in what category are you? Real estate agent, right? Your name, your address, your phone number, your website, your business hours, your business description. Now here's what's important with this. Primary category, you can then have additional categories. I recommend maxing this out. So not only do you wanna really fill everything in on every section of this, but take advantage of all of it, right? As many additional categories that apply to you, as well as when you're doing your business description, plugging in that description, but using keywords, real estate agent in this part of town in Colorado Springs, right? Best real estate agent, and using those keywords. How do we do this? Very quickly, we use ChatGPT, okay? So guys, don't make it hard on yourselves, right? So the way I do ChatGPT, I always share this in the AI class. Your input is going to directly affect your output. So if you don't feed it the right information, it's not going to give you the best results. So I always like to say to ChatGPT, your role is to be an expert in Google business profiles and understand how best to optimize them and keywords to rank higher, right? Task, create my business description for my Google business profile, focusing in on maximizing it close to 750 characters, because that's the max characters that you can do. Always take advantage of as much space that Google gives you. Fill it all in as much as you can so you can stuff it in with all of that appropriate data and keywords that are going to tie back to who you want to target, right? Focus on keywords such as real estate agent and realtor and real estate broker. Of course, these are very vague. I would recommend even get niched down even further into specifically where you want to take over. Once we do this, it spits it out, right? Opening date, phone number, website. You can copy and paste all of your social profiles in here, do it all in. When you add those social profiles in, you'll see later on it's actually linked to all of them on your Google business profile at the very bottom, so that people will have access to those as well. Guys, by the way, this slide deck, you can have it. So if you're taking photos, I'll send it to you. No worries. There'll be a QR code at the end. You'll scan it and it will get emailed to you instantly to save you time. Business location verification, the hardest part these days, okay? Back in the day, we got the mailers. I know a few of us got those. It seems like they're stopping to send those out. Most people are getting the video verification. So this is, unfortunately, possibly the hardest part is verifying your Google business profile. A lot of us are hit with the video verification. I want to explain to you how the heck to do this, because I don't think Google does a good job explaining it. It's very frustrating. So video verification for your Google business profile, here's what you have to do. You have to, wherever your address is, you have to go outside with your phone and you have to record, and you have to be at the actual like street where you can film and see the street and record that street. You're gonna do a 360 recording of where you are. You're then going to, if you're not very close from that street to your office, you are going to run to the front door of your office, because you are limited on time of your video and how big the file size is. 2 minutes, it's fast, right? You are going to run to the front. You're gonna run. If there's signage in the front, you're gonna record that signage. You're then gonna go inside. If there's an elevator, you're gonna take the elevator or the stairs. You are gonna sprint up to your office, to your suite, show that, right? Then you're gonna go inside. Then ideally, if you have some sort of mail or something that has your name on it, with that address, you're going to show that. If not, you're going to show something. Worst case scenario, if you have nothing, you're going to show your business card. Because I know agents that have done business cards and that's worked as well. Anything that, again, can tie back, this is me, this is my company, this is where I'm at. All right.
Like the Amazing Race or something.
Yes, exactly. 2 minutes. It's very frustrating. I know someone who had to do this with their computer. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Yeah, they're like filming their computer. So that's the Google video verification process. Then you're going to upload it, make sure the file is under 2 minutes. It's not too big, and then hopefully get it approved. It's a pain in the ass. Yes.
So first, I did that here.
Okay.
And it wasn't that bad.
Cool.
Because I mean, where our building's here.
You're not too far. Yeah.
Front, the sign's right over there.
Yep.
And I was able to. I didn't know that it didn't sound as hectic as it is.
Good, because you're right on the first floor. Some offices are up on the 5th floor. You have to get up there. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
When I was on the sidewalk up from that film, the
Cool. 360 office done.
Walk through everything. And I sent a copy of my license.
Yep.
The address. And like that.
Okay.
So I got my first video. Start over.
You're at the appeal process, right?
No, it won't let me appeal everything. I started this back in October.
Oh.
I only put so much time into it.
Okay.
Just like a buyer. I mean, if they want to jerk my chain, you don't want to pay anybody. I don't lose much time with it. So.
Got it. So unfortunately,
I mean, I put hours into it just trying to get a profile. So.
yeah, unfortunately, you might be at the point where it's start from the beginning. So that's the other unfortunate side of this is Google. If you've done the verification, you're maxed out on the appeals and you're stuck. Sometimes it's easier just cut your losses if your Google is not that built out, hopefully, and just making a new one, unfortunately.
I mean, if I'm trying to take it out of there, he wants me to check that I'm out of business. It's like, no, I'm not checking it.
Yeah.
It's very silly.
Let's look at it after.
I've almost went back and looked at a lot of the other agents like Keller Williams. Very frustrating.
Yeah, that sucks.
Good. In the meantime, I've been selling real estate.
That's good. That's good. You're doing your real job. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, oh, cool. Yeah. That's perfect. So generator's going to kick on here in a second. What do we think?
Wow. What, Google doesn't work offline?
Dude. So now I'm going to teach off of my laptop. All right. Well, I'm going to keep going. Okay. Guys, I've done this before. This isn't my first time.
Email the deck to everybody so they can actually follow you?
Yeah.
The deck in our
Did you all sign up via Eventbrite?
Yeah. The internet just went down.
I don't know if you can.
Oh, is the internet down too? Because it's connected to power.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know if you
I'll hotspot it. Yeah.
All of our lives end when the power's out.
They the world just does not want me to teach this class today. Holy cow. I honestly thought no one was going to be here. Here we go. We're going hotspot, guys. Here we go. We're coming back. Cool. Teaching in the dark. This is a first. All right, so I'm back. So here's what we're going to do next, all right? This is going to be service areas. So what service areas are is what areas do you want to service? Again, I would max out these keywords, everything you can do. Anything from Colorado Springs to specific submarkets within Colorado Springs. Fill all that in, max it out until it tells you you can't add any more information. All right. Service areas are done. After we do service areas, business hours, pretty straightforward. There's different opinions on business hours. Do you go 24/7 or do you go, hey, I'm open from whatever, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.? Agents have different opinions. In my opinion, I think if I was a real estate agent, I'd do 24 hours. I'd be afraid that if someone wanted to call me late at night and it said that my business was closed, they might just move on to the next real estate agent. So that'd be my perspective. In fact, actually, as a title insurance company, I say I'm open 24/7. I had an investor reach out to me on a Sunday. And again, I asked him, I was like, how'd you find me? He's like, you were the only title company open up on a Sunday. I was like, all right, cool. So, really? Yeah, so, no way.
Yeah, this guy's like, he's a white shit. I'm a legal message.
That's funny. That's funny. So that's my opinion, 24 hours. And then every once in a while when holidays hit, you're going to get an email from Google. It's like, hey, are you open on whatever, Martin Luther King Day, right? You just make sure you click, yes, I am, and have all that updated. Google wants to keep you updated on everything, all right? So that's that on business hours. Next up, reviews, hot topic, very important, right? So reviews, what we need to know here on reviews is we want 5-star reviews and we want a lot of them. And that's important because if people do find us, right, they are going to judge us on our reviews. How many do we have in comparison to the next, 3 in line? And right, just think about when you've searched something and you're comparing this one to this one and which one has the most reviews and which one are you even going to consider. So, reviews, if we can be super specific on how we do reviews and what they look like, right? We want to ask people to fill in those keywords. I understand it's hard enough just getting people to leave reviews in the first place. That's hard. But if we can help kind of control that process, or some strategies I've done, first things first is when you go to ask reviews, there's a link that we can click. It's a little URL, right? And we can send that to the people. First thing I would do if I were you, if you haven't done this already, is take all of your reviews that are harvested at other locations such as Zillow or Realtor.com or wherever that people have left you. And I would individually copy each of those reviews, go into whatever, my email or text, and send this to each person. Say, hey, I appreciate this review that you left for me at this website. If you could, I'm trying to build up my Google business presence. If you could take 30 seconds, click this link, copy and paste this review on the Google, it would mean the world to me, right? Make it super easy. I think the reason a lot of people don't leave you reviews when you ask them is just because they probably care and they want to think through what they're going to say, and then they get busy and then they never do it. So I think the easier you can make it for people, the better. Question.
Do you think Google reviews are better than Zillow reviews or other places? Or should you do both?
I think it's subjective. I think it depends on the person and how they interact and search. For me, Google's everything, right? I'm going to look at Google before Zillow. I worry about Zillow because at the end of the day, who knows what Zillow is going to do down the road. They have those reviews. I'd hate to lose them. And I'd rather have them in both locations if I could. Okay. So another strategy too on getting reviews is if you got someone again and you know them pretty well and you've helped them a lot, you could say, hey, like, and maybe you reach out a few times and they haven't left a review. You could follow up and say something like, hey, I just want to make this super easy for you. Here's a quick little blurb on what I wrote on, how I helped. And if you want, you could just use this or copy and paste it to make it easy. It would mean the world to me if you left me a review. Also too, or like if you really want to go the other route too, and someone doesn't have time, you could still leave a 5-star review and write nothing. And that's still worthwhile. All right. So getting those reviews, of course, is going to be important. And review strategies, right? So then once someone leaves you a review, you're going to get notified and you want to respond to all of those reviews, right? So you can now, this is cool where you can, again, leverage keywords within your responses. Again, you can leverage ChatGPT, which I've done before, where I've said, hey, here's a review that someone left me. Respond to this and use keywords on Realtor in Colorado Springs. And then it will do that for you, which again, I don't know if this does anything, but I like to believe that maybe it does something. And it's one more step that most people aren't doing, but definitely respond to your reviews. And next up is going to be more on reviews. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about 1-star reviews. Anyone gotten a 1-star review before? Maybe, yes, yeah, right? It happens. There's psychos out there, or maybe you deserved it. I don't know. Just kidding, just kidding. But a way you could leverage a 1-star review to ideally help yourself is there's this agent that actually did this. I heard it on a podcast. She had a 1-star review. And again, it was some crazy story, but she reached out. She put up on social. She's like, hey, I take pride in helping all of my clients and friends and family. And unfortunately, there's a situation where I'm trying to beef up my Google. And if you could, it'd mean the world to me to click here and help beef up my presence because I do want to build this up and get more 5-star reviews. And she got a really, really good response from that because, she's a good person and people felt bad that some crazy person left her 1-star and did that. So that's one way to kind of combat that. Then also too, with that 1-star review, I think, of course, what you need to do is you need to respond to it appropriately and professionally. I always do that. If I see a 1-star review on a hotel or a business or something, right, you don't know, all right, first of all, how crazy is this person, right? But I like to see how the business managed and responded to it. And what did they say, right? Were they professional in their response on how they handled that 1-star review? I think that's just as important, okay? So that's that. Other strategies on getting more reviews. This is really successful for me. is I raffled off, guys, a $200 Amazon gift card. That's all it took, 200 bucks. And I pushed out an email to my email list. I said, hey, the next week, I am running a contest. If I've helped you in any way and you think I deserve a 5-star review on Google, I'd love for you to click this link and just leave me a 5-star really fast. And then in 1 week, anyone that's left me a review, I'm going to raffle off a $200 Amazon gift card and give it away to someone. And I got tons of reviews. I went from like 3 to 80. Okay. Another strategy. We're all in business, right? We all have affiliates and vendors and other partners that we work with who also have businesses, right? Whether it's home inspection, title insurance, lending, whatever, right? I've pushed out emails to all of my business partners and relationships and said, hey, I'd love to leave you a 5-star review. I'd love to leave you a 5-star review. Please respond to this email and send me a link. And also, if you could, if it's okay, I'd love for you to leave me a 5-star review in exchange as well. So essentially exchanging 5-star reviews is also another strategy where I've picked up a ton of 5-star reviews, right? Beyond that, guys, like you can also, of course, lean into friends, family, starting out and pushing that up. Like even if people haven't worked with you, they can still leave you a 5-star review based on your character and who you are as a human being, right? So I would think wide net on getting reviews on this. Okay, so here's the downside to Google reviews. It's a love and a hate. It's a pro and a con. The Google filtering system for reviews getting through and sticking to Google is very, very difficult. Okay, so it's possible that someone might have actually said, hey, Chris, I left you a 5-star review, but that review never showed up. So just don't get frustrated with them. They're not lying. They probably did, but for whatever reason, the algorithm through Google, which is very strict, said, we think this is fake or spam, and it won't get posted. So that's the frustrating side of this, all right? Another way you'll see this is if you do ask for an influx of a lot of reviews at once, they're probably not all gonna make it through, okay? So it's up to you on how you wanna strategize with your reach out. I just kind of went for it. I pushed it out to my entire email list and got a bunch, and I'm sure a bunch of them just didn't stick, but I just kind of roll with it because I know if I don't do it at once, I'm not gonna do it at all. Chris, any update on the power?
It's a whole region.
All right, cool. Well, we got the hotspot, so we're going. All right, next up, here we go. So Q&A, questions and answers. Has anyone actually ever asked a question on a Google Business Profile? Yeah, I don't think anyone does. This is one of those things that I think you just have to check the box on, okay? So there's a Q&A section on every single Google Business Profile where you can ask questions and answer. What's cool about it is you as the owner of the actual business itself, you can tee yourself up and ask all of the questions for yourself. And then guess what? You can answer them too, all right? So again, like I don't know what the exact number is, but some experts say do at least 10 Q&As and tee yourself up. And it's just be basic stuff that you get asked as a real estate agent, right? Like, why should I work with you as a real estate agent and whatever, how are you different? If you do need just, a real quick cheat sheet on some great Q&As, on that handout that I gave you, third box down here in the dark, if you can see it, is an FAQ template for real estate agents that will give you a whole list of great FAQs that you can copy and paste and answer on your own and do really, really quick, okay? So that's the Q&A section. Just make sure you do it. Again, one of those things to check off the box. So beyond the Q&A system, the next thing we're gonna talk about is products, all right? Products, what the heck is that? So products are unlimited. This is one of those things where you can get lost in doing it on however long you want to spend the time on it, all right? But this is where you can offer quote unquote products. This could be homes for sale in blank, right? Buying a home in blank, selling a home in blank, free buyers or sellers guides, right? Free home valuation. You can set these all up as individual products. You can write a blurb up to, I believe, 1,500 characters. Again, use ChatGPT, you can add a photo, and then you can add a little call to action, a little link, right? Click here, right? Where then, you can use this to your advantage, have them go to your website, fill out a form, right? Create some sort of lead magnet. Or if you don't want to do that, at least fill in, right? If you're farming a neighborhood or you're focused on an area, right? Start uploading your listing, start uploading like all sorts of properties within that area, again, to fill this in for your products. Questions so far? How are we doing? Well, a little weird, isn't it? It's a little weird. You're good. Sorry, man. Thanks for being here.
Gotta be downtown.
No, I appreciate it. I know it's 11. All right, next up, services. Okay, services is an interesting one too because it's unlimited. This is one of those things where like you got, either you pay someone to do it or you sit down for a couple hours and knock this one out. But services, what this is, your primary category and your additional services category. Your primary category is your real estate agent, right? But then you can add additional services. And additional services is an unlimited category that you can add continuously on, right? So guess what I did? I went to ChatGPT and I said, hey, I'm a real estate agent serving Denver and wherever, right? Colorado Springs and blah, 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 blah. Based on Google searches, what is the most commonly asked questions that buyers, sellers, and investors are asking real estate agents in this area? Give me up to whatever, 15. I think I did 100, right? Most commonly asked questions and keywords. And then what I did was I took each of these services and I started plugging in these keywords, right? Real estate agent, real estate properties for sale, buying agent services, first time home buyer services. I just rolled. I think I did like 100 of these, of course, for title insurance, but for you as a real estate professional, all those keywords. Plug them in and answer them. This is a very tedious task that is not fun at all. So knock it out though, and then be done with it. Because I don't think very many people are going to do it because it's not very fun and they don't realize it's unlimited on how many keywords you want to plug in. If you need a master list of keywords through local SEO that I've already compiled for you in real estate, again on that form, first box, check it, and I will send you that master list. That way you have it. Okay, next topic is going to be photos and video. All right, so photos and video, this is going to be where we upload photos and videos. Now, what are we going to upload? Well, again, the quote unquote experts say you need to get at least 100 photos/videos, really just photos to the core into this thing. All right, starting off with your profile image, next up with photos of the exterior of your building, the interior of your building, like all of the stuff. And the struggle with the videos, by the way, if you are uploading videos, there's a maximum file size. It's only 75 megabytes, which is a struggle with getting videos uploaded. But beyond that, we got cover, we got logo, we got interior, exterior photos. Beyond that, what else do we upload? Here's a ton of ideas. Happy clients with sold signs, featured listings, past listings, local community highlights, neighborhood market trends and infographics, client events, open houses, photos from your listings, before and after staging photos, awards, certificates. If you're doing any video content with video thumbnails, your video thumbnails. And then last but not least, the one that I like is screenshots of all of your reviews left on other websites. So that's a quick one. Like if you're just starting out, go to Zillow, go to Realtor.com, go wherever, grab all those 5-star reviews, screenshot them, upload them into Google as photos, right? So anything really you can upload. You can take this as far as you want, from business professional to more of a personal standpoint. It's up to you. And is that like a heated jacket?
Yes.
It's like lit up in the front. I love it. So it's like the whole vest.
Nice and warm.
That's cool. Nice. Is that on max setting right now? Are we full? No,
It's
okay.
on low and it's
Got it.
3 different sections.
Cool. Sorry guys, squirrel.
Her jacket shut down the grid.
Yeah, I know. Totally. Totally. Any questions on photos and video? Yes, question.
I'm sorry to jump back.
You're good.
Slide. From what I know, ChatGPT doesn't analyze real-time data. So does that mean that you're asking it to give you algorithm data that's archaic or, years old, 2 years old? Like if you ask ChatGPT for football data, let's say on the NFL,
Sure.
it can't analyze real-time data from like this season. So it'll only do like up till 2021, I believe, when it comes to that thing. So now, I'm just diving into ChatGPT, but does that cause a concern?
So it's shifted. So it can search real-time internet. Now it's limited on certain websites. That's what's the problem with ChatGPT, is a lot of websites have put code into the actual website itself saying don't let any AI platforms in here. For example, YouTube, like you can't copy and paste a YouTube video into ChatGPT. It's blocked. But it can search real time. And then another category now on like actual data itself, like football data, I don't know. Keywords though, you can still search keywords, right? And those aren't necessarily going to shift. And then also too, what I'm going to give you actually is more advanced. If you check that box on the keywords, I use a website. It's called answerthepublic.com. Yeah. Answerthepublic.com. And that's actually where I pull all my keywords from. I don't know. I signed up and started pulling stuff, and it was really cheap. So that's actually where I pull all my keywords from. You can search keywords for Google, YouTube, like any search platform really, and that's going to give you the most accurate data. I just usually don't mention that in the class to overwhelm people. But if you check that box, I'll just give you the answer to the public list. Yeah, good questions. Very good questions. Yeah. Okay, moving on here. Okay, photos. One more thing I'll hit. This is for the advanced overachievers in the room. Photo metadata. So every time you upload a photo into Google, guess what? Every time we take a photo, there is an attached, typically, longitude and latitude of where that photo took place. And Google's paying attention to if he's uploading this photo, is this in the vicinity of where he or she says they do business, right? Where their business address is, okay? And this is, again, one of those things where like we don't really know, but we believe it also takes into account the validity of where you do business and where you're going to pop up when people search for certain areas. So if you want to become very strategic later on after you've kind of gotten your photos and stuff, think about, again, where you're doing business. Is there a neighborhood you're trying to do the most business in? And capturing photo content within that specific area, because it's getting recorded longitude, latitude. It's taking that into consideration when uploaded to Google. Question.
So it's taking consideration of where the photo was taken or where you're uploading it?
Where the photo was taken.
Okay.
Correct. Question.
Can you bypass that with screenshot? That's kind of what I do on my Facebook. Like if I'm doing a picture of somebody's home or I'm at a showing and I take a picture, I know the metadata. So I go home or I go to the office, I'll do a screenshot, edit the photo, then upload it to social media. Then the metadata shows my office.
So that's a great segue. And the question is possibly. And that leads me to my next checkbox on my sheet, which is the fourth checkbox down, which is the Advanced Photo Metadata Optimization Guide for Google. So what this is, you could take those screenshots, right? And in theory, if it's recording longitude, latitude on the computer, right, it would be that location. Or if you wanted to manipulate that location, there are websites out there where you can upload your photos and control the longitude and latitude of where you want those photos to rest and be, and you can manipulate the location of your photo metadata. This is like super nerdy, super advanced. If you really want to be an overachiever, you can do this. I haven't even done this, but you can do it if you want to, okay?
What's the purpose? I'm sorry.
The purpose is, the theory is Google is tracking where you're doing business and where you're operating, where all of your content is. And again, organically, they're going to believe, hey, right, Chris is operating and doing a ton within this area, clearly, because all this metadata leads back and ties to the location, right? And this is who he is. He's got to be the expert.
So if you're taking that picture, that means you've got to make sure your phone setting is to where it does record the location.
Yeah, and by default, I'm pretty sure it should be on.
Okay.
Right?
Mine was off.
Oh, really? Well, you got a Droid, so I don't know what you're doing. We like to give him shit. Anyway. All right, moving on. Okay, updates. This one's a pain in the butt, guys. Is anyone doing Google Updates? No. Yeah, because it's hard. All right, so here's what it is. Updates are essentially just like basically Google's version of posting to the platform and keeping it updated. In comparison, think about it, whether you're posting to Facebook or Instagram or really anywhere else, right? Google also wants you to provide updates, right? Every so often, let's say every once a week, right? With what's going on. So this is one I've struggled with a long time. I just started implementing about, 4 months ago. So this is social media posts, this is events, this is offers. Again, it could be a photo, right? And then, or a video with a description and then a link to whatever. Now, it's a pain to do because it's one more thing, right? And if we're already struggling with posting really in general, it's one more platform. The reason why I always struggle with posting this is because a lot of the platforms out there that will auto post your content across all social channels, only a few of them have Google as a verified platform that you can use. Well, long story short, I found a great service out there that will auto post to Google for you. If you do want to take this to the next level, it's called oneupapp.io, oneupapp.io. And it's awesome. It is $12 a month. 10, you can have up to 10 social media channels. So if you're one of those people that wants to, again, like if you're posting content and you want to reach all of the channels, including Google, for 12 bucks a month, it's the cheapest thing out there. Okay. But within that platform, you can have it auto post to your Google as an update.
Can you say that link?
Yep. OneUpApp.io. ONEUPAPP.io. All right. Next up, bookings. This is a quick, easy one to check off the list. So all it is, you click on bookings, and then when you go to bookings, you will provide a link where someone can book an appointment with you online. All right. So there's different scheduling platforms out there. The one that I like personally is Calendly. Anyone have a Calendly? Yeah, those are fun. Calendly.com, you can sign up for a free. You can sign up for a free account and have one free booking appointment on there. So just create a Calendly account, copy and paste your link in there, so that if people were to book an appointment, which I have never had happen, it's done. Right? Just check it off the list. Okay, bookings done. Next up, performance. All right, so this is just looking at how your Google Business Profile is performing. How's it doing? Right? We click performance. We're seeing anything from calls to bookings to website clicks to directions to all that stuff, right? Ton of stuff in there, and it will build and grow, of course, as you do more and more of this stuff. Okay. Any questions so far? All right. Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
That kind of stuff I can't view until they get verified. Real quick with the verification
Yep.
video. Do you film it selfie mode if you're using your cell phone? Like, would you be filming your face?
It's a good question. No, exterior around.
Okay.
Yep. But you will film like when you get inside, like the office, the address,
But you're
right?
not holding like
Some sort of correct. No, outward.
Okay.
And then some sort of documentation, right? That says, hey, this is me. I'm here.
Okay.
This is where I work. All that stuff.
Okay.
Yep. Good. That's a fair question. Good question.
Ooh.
We're maybe back. Maybe not. Okay. All right. Okay. Psych. All right. Next one, guys. We're almost done here. Thanks for hanging with me. This is one of those ones where no one's going to tell you about it, but I think it matters. Okay. And this is local citations. Okay. So what this means, there's black hat approaches to thing which are frowned upon, and there's white hat approaches. It's like a white hat approach to marketing to essentially, like, again, kind of manipulate the system to further improve, I believe, your validity of who you are and who your business is. So what this means is when Google's always Googling you, right? So fill all this stuff in and all that. But then also too, there's value in having different web pages across the internet that tie back and are linked to your business, to your name, to your address, to your phone number, right? Because again, Google is always Googling you and tying back, is this person legit, right? Do they have other credibility across the internet? Do they have a website? Do they have whatever, fill in the blank? So the point here is there's something out there, it's called citations. And citations are essentially just other web pages or profiles on other websites that have your business name, your business address, your phone number, possibly a description about your business, your keywords, all tied in with that business as well. And the theory here is that when Google is Googling you, it's searching out the web to see where else you exist and live and breathe. And you want to strengthen that online presence across the internet. And that's how you create these citations. Okay. So here's the deal. There is a company here in the United States that I've talked to that strictly deals with Google business profiles. And what they do is you can pay them, I believe, last time I checked, $700 we're back.
Actually, we were back. We just turned off the lights.
It's kind of nice. You're good. So what happens is you can pay this company here in the United States $700 to make about 30 of these for you. But guys, I'm kind of scrappy the way I do things. And I was like, hey, I wonder if there's someone overseas that could do this for me for cheaper. And anyone ever use Fiverr.com? Love me some Fiverr.com. Guess what? There's a guy on there that will do 300 citations for $110. So I hired this guy to literally create 300 business profiles across different websites within the United States of America and essentially like create all this for me. And he did it. And what he does is when he finishes the project, he will actually send you literally a live list with a live link to every single website with your profile created. He manually does this. So with that said, this is one of those things. Does it work? Does it not work? I believe it does. And I don't think anyone else is doing this. If you do want to explore that option and have local citations created across the entire internet, on that sheet, second box, check it. I'll send you this guy's info. He's the real deal. And he did this for me probably about 8 or 9 months ago. And my Google business profile still works. Didn't get shut down. I'm getting some nasty looks from some people. So that's local citations. Any questions on that? No. Okay. All right. It's loading. Any other questions while I'm up here? I know I kind of breezed through this pretty fast, but I know we're cut here on time. No? Okay. All right. Let's take a moment. Oh, I'm back. Oh, there it is. 300 local citations. Other than that, guys, that's a quick breeze through the whole Google business profile. All right. I think the best thing you need to do is get the 5-star reviews. If you just listen to all this, you're like, I'm not going to do any of this. That's fine. If you can just focus on one thing, I'd say upload your photos and get a bunch of reviews, right? If you want to go deeper into it, of course, you choose how hard you want to push into it. It's totally your call. All right. And yeah, on that form, if you checked anything, write down your name, email, phone. I'll reach out to you. And then, guys, I got to ask if you'd be open to it. If you found this valuable at all, if you'd be open to it. Again, don't dock me for being 25 minutes late and the power turning off. Maybe I shouldn't put this up here. What's that? Thank you. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you want, here's what we'll do. If you want to leave me a 5-star review, thank you, appreciate it. But also, if you have a Google Business profile set up, write your Google Business profile on that sheet, and I'll leave you a review as well. So we'll do like a little trade. Okay. What do you think, Chris?
I think that's great.
Is that allowed? Can I do that?
Heck yeah.
Okay, cool.
I said it was okay.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, I know I went through that fast. I'm so sorry that we were so late and then the power went out. That was an adventure, but thanks for sticking through it. And Chris, thanks for hosting this and entertaining this class. We appreciate you. Thanks for setting this up. We've got many, many more classes coming up. We've got headshots and happy hour. We got other classes, and you guys are always invited.
On the list for the invites.
If you want to get the invites to the classes, check that final box. That's my weekly. You'll get a weekly email. Promise I won't spam you. It shares real estate tools, resources, marketing ideas like this, and then every week there's a live link to upcoming classes. And like I said, there's 5 to 7 a month. So anything from what we talked about. How are we feeling, guys? 2025. Ready to hit it? You're all here. Drove through the snow. You're serious. You're committed. Good. We're cranking. We're ready? All right. Cool. How do we feel about this? Was this a little bit overwhelming?
Is it overwhelming?
Or helpful?
Well, what about web-based brokerages?
Web-based brokerages. Yeah, like EXP. Yeah. You still have your EXP?
Yeah.
You still have like a physical address.
Yeah, they
somewhere.
Give us a Denver address.
Is it Pyramid Court?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, you can still have it there because I get that question a lot. Yeah, like look up, I always like to show Aaron Lebovic because he's at Pyramid. Yeah, right here, Pyramid. Yep. So I get that question every class. There's always a couple EXP agents. So I think all you do if you're tied to Pyramid Court, right? Go in there, do the whole thing, go inside, same process.
Okay.
Just do it at the I've been there. It's like a workspace. Yeah. Yep. Good question.
This is if you want.
Yep. So that's that. Yeah, question.
Is there a way to combine Google profiles?
Combine. That's a good question.
Ones
and I somehow bring those into my new one,
Not that I'm aware of.
the reviews gets transferred or anything.
Not that I'm aware of. No. Unfortunately, I wish. Yeah. So
Like I've recently bought another franchise off of somebody. Is there a way to absorb theirs into mine, like bring their, probably not, well, it's the same thing, I guess.
not that I'm aware of. Google's so strict.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's separate. Yeah. But you do want to inherit the reviews. That's good. I've heard the opposite story. My brother-in-law's a dentist, and he bought a practice, and it had a bunch of bad reviews. He found out after he bought the practice, and Google does not wipe them out. You just have to. That's why, guys, also too, like even if you took this class, you're like, I don't really care about this. Like at the end of the day, like if you, for whatever reason you get some crazy person, they leave you a 1-star review. Wouldn't it be better to have a buffer and be ready and already have a strong online 5-star presence? That way, if something ever does happen down the road, right, you can mitigate that, and it's already 1 star versus a whole bunch of 5 stars. It's going to average.
Permanently delete one.
Yeah, you should be able to deactivate the Google. Yeah.
Okay.
And then keep the other one. Yeah, the hardest part is getting it set up and getting it verified, unfortunately, and getting it hopefully appealed. But for those of you that are struggling with the appeal process or are stuck, I'll look at your account and see what we can do. But that's it. If you want the slide deck, there's a QR code. You scan it, I'll plug in your name, email, it'll get sent to you immediately, as well as every other slide deck that I send out. And question, yes.